Yo, crypto nation and mining family. Crypto nation and mining family. What's going on? Of course, like always, it's not financial advice. Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what's going on out there? So before we dig in any further, since I don't have any sponsors of any sort, I guess I'll just have to sponsor myself, guys. Bam! Check out hotrodmining.com. Definitely excited to have anybody that comes on to here. I strive to provide the best gear. All the artwork has been done directly by me. I do all of this just for you, just to give back to all of you guys. Have all the apparel for that. HotRodMining.com, hats like this. Very cool stuff up in here. So you can get Late Nights in the Mine hat, some crypto and hot rods hats. Very cool stuff. And you can get a hot rod mining shirt, or what's your plan B? Bam. Got some shorts and pants and stuff, or sweatpants I should say. Got some HODL shorts, HODL Life sweatpants for when you're just kind of lounging around the house. And cannot forget any of that awesome PC equipment. Do know that this is all coming from that chiggity China, so it does take a minute to get there, but it'll all get there. It just will take time. So if you order any of this stuff, be a little patient. Some of it takes a little longer than others. All right, guys? So without any further ado, guys, let's dive in. So on the 3rd, Sapphire comes out and gives us a sneak peek. So they're going to be coming out with a Nitro series that's going to be black and colored scheme with 3 fans, guys. Instead of being an 8 and a 6 pin, they are now going to a dual 8 pin. And then now the designs have all been coming out. This was like a couple of days ago. It looks like Amazon has definitely leaked it out, where you are able to kind of have a look at everything and potentially try to buy some. So the cards themselves actually look pretty neat. Little hexagonal shapes on here, black and silver like they were saying. Has some extra headers from like RGBs and some fan headers to be able to hook in your case and have it scheme with your graphics card. The fans are pretty standard, high pressure static fans. One thing I do like on the fans though is that the leading edges are nice and smooth to kind of chop into the air, and then it looks like that the main body of the blade is actually textured, which would cause the air to have a little bit of turbulence to it, which I think would give it a little bit more airflow. I think, maybe, I could be wrong. But I hope that, knowing that I trust Sapphire, I've had their Nitro Plus cards. They ran really, really, really cool. I'm hoping that they continue that theme of, the Sapphire Nitro Pluses having the better cooling solutions on there. So they had it where they had it listed for €479. Which that comes out to $528, guys. So if you were wanting this one, it's a little over $500, but it's got a nice little look on there. It looks like they've got some RGB on the very back side of the card and on the leading edge, because this would be motherboard side and you'd be looking at this top side, guys. So you can tell that the cooler hangs out over past the PCB and everything like that. So the card set is not as long as the radiator, which is fine by me. Basically, it's letting air pass through. So this portion of the cooler, because it's got air just blowing right through it, should actually be fairly cool. Let's hope that that's what they were going for, which was just a better cooling solution. Even the box itself kind of looks kind of cool too, and it's got that little geometric shapes on there. That's why they've got it on the card. And then moving along onto some of them CPUs. Yeah, GPUs, CPUs. So it looks like Intel is going to be coming out with their Cascade Lake X. And they're trying to push performance per dollar, guys. So it looks like they are trying to stomp out on AMD a little bit here. So they're definitely showing that the AMD Threadripper lineup is better than their Skylake X chipset. Cool. They knew that they couldn't even compete in that, so they had to make a whole new one, Cascade Lake X, to be able to push the performance per dollar past AMD. So they had to basically throw everything and the kitchen sink at their new chipset to try to push it beyond AMD, which when you start looking into it, now I don't know if you guys know about pushing power through a CPU, okay? So as you start pushing that power through, they start heating up pretty nicely. The Skylake is already known to be a little bit warmer. My AMD 1900X is a fairly warm card already, or chipset too. They pull a lot of power on these newer chipsets. So they're talking about with the Cascade Lake, they're basically going to take the Skylake X and they are unlocking it all the way. So you are basically looking at 5 gigahertz on all cores. You better have the best cooling solution on the planet for this card, because at 5 gigahertz on all cores, that's going to produce some wicked heat, guys. So if you know the 9900K series, they already run hot. Now if they make a low wattage one, they're also going to be pulling that power back up. When they pull the power back on it for a low wattage variant, they're also going to be pulling that performance down with it. So I'd hit, it's like is it worth the extra 2 or 3 frame rates a second for your video game to have all of these issues that you're going to have with trying to cool this chip down, and all that good stuff? Let me know. Drop some comments in down below. But talking about though that Threadripper, oh guys, I already used Threadripper, like I was just saying. Got the 1900X. I got the first gen Threadripper. Why? Well, one, it was an 8-core, and I was coming off of a 4-core, so that was already a huge jump. But I wanted to get the better chipset that was like $2,000. So it's like, oh my god! But it has 24 cores of madness in it. So, but they have leaked out that the new 3000 series Threadripper, code name Castle Peak, has been spotted. So Momo US has confirmed that the new Threadripper will have PCIe 4.0 support for the new HEDT platform. So boom. The identifiers that they are utilizing here for their code names, Rome, which we all know already is the Epic lineup, which is their enterprise grade basically chipset. So and then Castle Peak is the Threadripper. So I am more excited over the Threadripper because that is my enthusiast grade workstation. Now, it's not that I'm going to be running out and grabbing one of these new motherboards with the 4.0 PCIe's. Mining is not using it. I really don't care about that. Are games going to be utilizing that? Not really. So well, not, I should rephrase that. They're not at first. It's new technology, so you know, you're gonna be looking at about a year and a half before video game manufacturers start utilizing it. Might not ever see mining ever really need it per se, because of the fact that you can run your graphics cards off of risers, which give you a by one port adapter, so you're already eliminating a lot of the data that would be normally given through a 4.0 PCI port. So take it for what it is. For gaming and stuff like that, if you're wanting to be on the latest and greatest thing, more power to you. I'm the person that holds off, and I will wait until the prices come down, let other people buy the brand new equipment, and I will take the tested equipment basically that has already had the bugs worked out. I try not to get a lot of that equipment brand new out of the box. Again, I've learned my lesson with the 1660 Ti back here, and yeah, that thing didn't really want to work too well when I first got it. Why? Because it was brand new technology. Dun dun dun. So, unfortunately, you know, I will be holding off on the brand new Threadripper. But what makes me excited over this brand new Threadripper, and it's the reason why I'm willing to bring it up, guys, is that I know that with this coming out, think about it, means that people are going to be buying this one, and the price of the older generations should start to come down. I'm hoping that their 24 core Threadripper for their Gen 2, their high-end Gen 2, will be in my price range at some point in time. Maybe even at the end of the year, maybe prices will come down a little bit and they'll go on sale, you know, because they're talking about bringing this out potentially, no guarantees, around Christmas time. So that there by itself I am super excited over. And if you guys are big AMD fanatics and you love your AMD motherboards and graphics cards, this next one is directly for you guys. So if you're mining on AMD GPUs and you are on that Windows, it might be to your best interest to download the new drivers. They definitely have a patch in there for the memory on this thing, so you'll be able to download this, and it will work even better with the new Claymore Dual. So if you guys are using that nice hash and stuff like that to mine on your AMD stuff, not any kind of advice, but me myself, I'd be downloading the Claymore Dual miner directly onto my PC. And I will definitely leave all the links in down below so you can find this stuff. But this would be where you get the drivers from. I'll have it, like I said, I'll have it all labeled in down below. And then this is Claymore Dual, Ethereum, AMD, and NVIDIA. So this will work with AMD and NVIDIA GPUs. So awesome, right? It works better on Windows, guys. So if you're using Linux, not going to work for you too well, guys. Now, I can give you a little background on this one. So, Claymore Dual is wonky as all get out in Linux. So, I have Hive OS and Simple Miner OS, two Linux-based mining programs, right? So, Claymore Dual is on both. Now, where I started playing with it was on Hive OS. Hive OS and Simple Miner OS are pulling from the same repository for the Linux-based Claymore Dual Ethereum miner. So what ends up happening is that with Linux, they did not take any time to make it work in Linux. They made it work in Windows. And why it is that it's like that it's a little harder to set the timing straps in Linux. So it was more work than, to the developers than what it was really worth. They kind of made it where it would boot up in Linux, but for like overclocking and stuff like that, not going to happen. I know with Hive, if I use Claymore Dual on there, my fans on my AMD cards will not go above 20%. I don't care if I put 100% commanded fan on there. 20% fan is all I get, and I can pull back power on it. After that, none of the timing straps work on Claymore Dual Miner for Linux. So on the Linux-based side of it, don't try it. You can even kind of tell when you're looking at it. So this is the Claymore Dual version 15 Linux Targ GZ, and if you look at it, it's only 4.4 megabytes. And whenever you go onto the Windows side of it, it is 12.7 megabytes. So if you are coming into here and you're looking at this, you're going to see Linux. If you're on Windows, don't touch it. It's not going to work. Come over to the very bottom one that says the zip .zip at the end. That's the one that you're going to want. From here, you'll be able to download it. And if you're running AMDs, you can sit there and set different straps onto it and kind of go through one by one and see which one gives you the better results on there. Now, what the straps are actually doing is it's actually applying the timing straps for you that you would have normally have done through BIOS modding. So my one-click BIOS mod that I have to do with all of my Linux-based AMD cards, you do not necessarily need to do that with Windows running Claymore, because Claymore's got the solution built into it. Now you can still overclock on top of it, so you could sit there and set up the timing straps on there and still use Global Wattman to fine-tune it if you are very good at doing this stuff with your AMD cards. If you are a novice at this, definitely pop into my Discord. I have a few people in Discord that are Claymore Dual Miner. They're very knowledgeable with it, and they'll be able to help you set your timings. I got a few people in there that are used to playing with Global Wattman for your overclocking tool for your AMDs on Windows. If you're wanting to do this all on Linux, guys, at that point I would recommend checking out Hive OS, and you know, you can do everything right through there. The BIOS mod, one-click BIOS mod from Polaris can all be done right through Hive. If you guys need any help with that, I can help you out with that, no problem. That's basically what I've done to my AMD rig, being that it's on Hive, that I did the Polaris one-click BIOS mod on there. I don't have to worry about the Claymore Dual because I don't have an AMD graphics card in my main PC. So testing with this is a little harder for me because I've only got so many AMD cards. I'm mostly an NVIDIA person. And with that being said, guys, if you have any comments or questions of any sort, please drop them in down below. If you guys, if any of this was a little confusing for you, you need a little bit more assistance on, doing the getting the drivers onto your PC, setting up Claymore, or setting up Simple Miner or Hive OS. I would recommend Hive OS over Simple Miner. Simple Miner is not simple. Just saying, it's not simple. Hive OS, way easier. I will continue to use both just because I learned them both. And, Hive OS allows three mining rigs, doesn't matter how many GPUs, on there for free. So 3 motherboards on Hive, and then after that you got to pay for them. So There are reasons why I'm on Hive and Simple Miner OS. Simple Miner OS actually charges you $2 a month per rig after 2 days worth of use. So I would rather pay for one rig or two versus my whole farm. So with that being said, guys, definitely smash that Lizzity like button, guys. Smash it away. Definitely share these videos with other people. Hit the subscribe bell notification. All that stuff always helps me out for sure. And again, guys, check out hotrodmining.com for all your mining gear needs and questions. And with that, guys, I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.